give them something to drink. To the cleanse.
Hey, Shalom. All praises to Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Hashem Rakakwadash. And much honors with you brothers that's in the spirit. And then peace to you sincere brothers out there, the true house of David. And I wanted to go into a couple things on Yahweh Shai. And just like always, going over the agreement. You can never go over the agreement in the New Testament and the covenant of Yahweh Shai, because there's a very big attack on Yahweh Shai in the agreement in the New Testament. And it's, it's clearly there that the Lord said that he was going to be with us. And what you have to understand is it's a war on Yahweh Shai and the Spirit and the true Holy Spirit, because this world is very evil. This world is very evil. Everything leads to death. Everything leads to adultery. Everything leads to the defilement of the temple. And what the Lord has done, he has set certain of us brothers up to actually combat the wickedness on a high level. Now, with those brothers that actually are in the spirit, those brothers, they're going to be very strong, and the Lord is going to be with them. That 1 out of 1,000, that small sanctuary. And that's what Yahweh Shai was explaining. He was explaining that to us that he was going to be with few men to the end of the world. The world was going to hate those men. But the Lord said, I in them and them in me. So Yahweh Shai is going to be in some of us right now. We're a part of the Lord. We're part of that army in Revelations 19. See, when the scriptures talk about them making war with the Lamb, they're not just going to make war with Yahweh Shai when he come back, but also his spirit that's here already. They're going to make war with the Lamb when he gets here, but before the Lamb gets here, it's already a war going on right now. It's a spiritual war. It's a spiritual war. Most men are getting their followers and camps to deny the new covenant in Yahweh Shai, whereas a few brothers out here like ourselves is trying to that are defending Yahweh Shai spirit. And we're telling you to be in that spirit of Yahweh Shai, which part of the spirit of Yahweh Shai is that he departed, he got away, he went to the mountains, he fled to other cities. It wasn't a thing of cloud or fame. It was kind of like hiding away. And that's how the spirit is. The spirit, it hides away. You have these outside things on you. You might have things on the outside of your body that everybody see, like your face, your fingers and shit like that. But the spirit's inside of your body and it's hidden away. That is, you have to be in that type of setting, in that mind frame as a spirit. You have to be in a hidden away mode. That's why the Lord said he will hide a man. He will have a man to be more precious than gold, because certain men have to be hid away, not out there famous, not to be known as of the world. But that's what the Lord was talking about when he prayed for in John chapter 17. He said that he prayed for not to us to be out of the world, but to keep us from the evil. And part of the evil is being out there in the world, being known, being amongst the multitude, being part of things that make themselves of the world and great. So they are making war with Yahweh Shai on all levels. The brother read this last week. I want to read this too, because part of the judgment of the great whore, going back to Revelations 19, Revelation 17, Revelations, Revelations 18, 19, 17, all these chapters, what goes into the harlot. You got to understand that the spirit of the harlot is against the Lord. So anything that exalts himself is against the Lord. Yeah, man, I seen the video of one of these elderly guys, and they're going into guys teaching in a certain way. Well, the thing is, these guys are denying Yahweh Shai. So it's like, how the fuck can you say anything about guys teaching anything when they're telling you, they're getting their congregation to think they're not in the covenant with the Lord? You see all the corruption that's out here. It's a lot of corruption, man. And these elderly men think that somebody owed them something for teaching deceitfully. See, it's another thing if you're teaching Yahweh Shai righteously and you're not disagreeing with them or you agree with them. But it's another thing when you get guys, when you get your group and you tell God to say we're not in agreement with the Lord, and clearly in the new covenant, in the New Testament, in Mark, James, John, and Luke, Mark, John, Luke, Matthew, and all over the New Testament, it tells you about the us being brought back by his blood. Now, by the blood of the Lamb, that's how we're going to get out of here. But you got to believe in the blood of the Lamb, and you have to be walking like the Lord did. And a lot of guys, they can tell you all this information, and they can do lessons every fucking day at these weak-ass parks. But they're not in that spirit of Yahweh Shai. They're exalted. So that doesn't put you in the spirit of Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai was not in that spirit. You know, like the brother said, hey, just subscribe to me in a social media cloud and, oh, we're the greatest out there. The Lord was never, that was not the spirit of Yahweh Shai. That's why we say these camps, they're in their own fucking spirit. But anyway, right here in Revelations 19, I want to read this too. And then I'm going to read John 15. Which goes into Yahweh Shai actually explaining again. After he explains it in John chapter 14, he explains it in John 15. Even more. So he's saying these things over and over in the Gospels. Right? The scriptures say that this gospel must be preached all over the world. Then the end can come. So a certain gospel has to be taught. Preferably what the Lord was saying in the New Testament. That's why guys are not teaching the Gospels. And remember, like I've said, and like the brother brought out on that video, and like we've been saying, you had one of the elders in the 70s get put out of One West that wanted to teach the Gospels. And we see today that guys are not teaching the Gospels like that. They're teaching everything except the Gospels like that, bro. But that's because the only reason that's happening is because guys are not of the Lord. That's why. They're not of Yahweh Shai. That's why they're not teaching the Lord like that. That's why they're denying the Lord like that. So before the Lord comes back and raises a war on the nations and this, that, and the third, and World War III and all that, before the Lord get here, it's already a war going on in the spirit. It's a war happening out here between us and between all these guys that's denying the Lord and these guys that's famous. And these guys, they really hate what we're saying, and they're really against Yahweh Shai because they're really against us. Because the more we go into Yahweh Shai, the more they show that they're really against what we're saying. They're against the Lord, and it's real heavy like that because in these last days, shit is just gonna escalate more. You know, shit's gonna get worse and worse until it pops. That's why the Lord prayed for us in John chapter 17, because he's seen how bad it would be in these last days. You see, the prophets and shit like that, they got visions of these last days. Jeremiah. So the Lord prayed for us off of that fact that in these last days, like right now, men were really going to be denying Yahweh Shai on high levels. Because this world is satanic. Now, this is Revelations 19 and 11. And he saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse. And him that sat upon him was called Faithful and True. And in the righteousness do he judge and maketh war. So you understand that? So he said what? The scriptures say, and he that sat upon it, that white horse, was faithful and true, and in righteousness do he judgeth and maketh war. Now, verse 12, it says, his eyes were a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns. He had a name written that no man knew but himself. Now, the Lord tells you that I in them and them in me. So the ones that's in Yahushua, they're going to know the Lord. But what you have to understand is the Lord refers to the many false prophets and shit like that. What he's going into, yeah, guys might know the name of the Lord, but they're ultimately making war against the Lamb because they're denying the Lord. You know, why would you deny the covenant and the agreement with the Lord? And God say you got to have new bodies. That just shows that they're not in the spirit of faith. That shows it right there. It's a lot of things. There's so many things that you could take the scriptures and if you're in the spirit, it's so many things you can see how guys are not in a spirit of Yahushua and they're against the Lord, but in a nice way. You know, they teach you in a nice way, but ultimately they're against the Lord. They're against the Lord. So the Lord said, him that was called was faithful, true, and in righteousness do he make war. So it's a war already. Going back up real quick, I'm going to read this Revelations 19 and 7. Let me start at 7. Let me go up to 7. Revelations 19 and 7. It says, now this is going into Revelations 19, where it says that the Lord judged the great whore, and it's saying what? A hallelujah. And her smoke rose up forever and ever. So jumping down to 7 real quick. Now, Revelations 19 and 7, it says, let us be glad and rejoice and give honor to him, for the marriage of the Lamb is come, and his wife have made herself ready. Now, who is the wife of the Lord? Who's the Lord's wife? Jeremiah chapter 6 verse 2, it says, I have likened the daughter of Zion to a comely and delicate woman. Right? And so now when you go back to Revelations real quick, Revelations 21 and 3, for I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, behold, the tabernacle of the Most High is with men. So the Lord refers to us as a delicate woman. And so like with a woman, you know, what you do with a woman, you take care of her. You make sure she's safe. And you try to give her, you give her things that she needs. You see, and that's what the Lord has done to his elect in these last days. So the covenant with Yahushua in the Old Testament is, you know, it's just like a marriage. It's just like it's an agreement. So you cannot say that we're not in an agreement with the Lord and expect to be saved. That's what guys are doing. They're still teaching all this bullshit and all this other shit, right? They may be teaching all this shit that's in the scriptures, right? But they're getting you to go off on something very major and very heavy. And then they avoid the topics of going into it. Because if you really go into it like we go into it, you can really see guys are really, they're not of the Lord and they're denying the Lord. And through the spirit, these are the fucking murderers that murdered Yahushua. These are the murderers that murdered Yahushua because they're denying him, but they're using him to glorify themselves in their camp. So Revelations 19, it tells you about the war that the Lamb is going to make. But before even the Lord gets here, we're already in the marriage and we're in that second agreement to teach this word. Like it says in John chapter 17, I give them the world. And when he gave up, I gave them the word. And when he gave us the word, that means that he gave us the word to go teach this word in the ends of the world. Because he said it'll be with us into the ends of the world. So there's the agreement right there. Now, these guys say that they're not in agreement. That just means they're not of the Lord, and they're telling you that. You have to be able to see that and separate, man. We're not in the time of letting guys know they're Israelites anymore. That time is gone. We're at the part now where the scriptures tell you in Matthew 13 that the angels got to separate. It's time to separate now. The Spirit of the Lord is not to bring peace, but a sword. The sword cuts shit up. It divides. Like in Luke, he said, hey, he comes to divide. So that's what the Spirit and that what we're doing. And the world is against what we're doing. Men are against what we're doing. They hate what we're doing because they're part of the world and they don't want to lose their place here. So the woman that's married to Israel is his man. According to John chapter 17, he prayed for them. He didn't pray for the whole world of our people. Now, Revelations 19:7. Now let us be glad and rejoice and give honor to him, for the marriage of the Lamb is come, and his wife is made herself ready. Now, when you go back to what was that, Matthew? See, it's heavy because the Lord tells you that he's in agreement with you, and he said, go to the highways and hedges and bid those that come in that come into this marriage. Matthew 22:9. Go ye therefore unto the highways and the hedges, and as many as ye shall find, bid to the marriage. So their servants went out into the highways and gathered together all, as many as they found, both bad and good, and the wedding was furnished with gifts. So in this wedding, you have a lot of motherfuckers in this wedding now. But ultimately, they're not of the Lord. Now, check this out. And the king came to see the guests, and he saw that there was a man which had not on a wedding garment. Part of the wedding garment is being in agreement with the Lord. So everybody is at the wedding, but they're not married to the Lamb. They're not married with the Lamb. They're not in agreement with the Lamb. You see what I'm saying? So now what's happening is, through the Spirit, we could really see the multitudes and guys and camps and men that are not in total agreement of the Lord by what they say, by what they teach, and how they're moving, because they're not moving like Yahushua. Now it says, and when the king came to see the guests, he saw a man that had not on a wedding garment. He said unto him, friend, how comest thou hither, not having a wedding garment? And he was speechless. Then the king said the king to the servants, bind him hand and foot, and take him away and cast him into outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of the teeth. For many are called, but few are chosen. Many were called to the wedding, but many are not in the covenant with Yahushua. Many are not in the agreement. So going back to Revelations chapter 19. And 7. So this is real important. This is real important because what these guys are doing, this plan wasn't just something they pulled out their ass. This is something that they plan to do. Now, if you're not really if you're not in the Spirit and you're not really understanding, if you don't understand the scriptures and the Lord haven't opened your eyes, then these guys, they're going to pull a fast one on you. Now, since we're at the last of this, the Lord is giving that last few things of the Spirit and putting the Spirit on a few brothers to say a few more things to get the last men out. Because once the ark is closed, it's over for everybody. And we see this thing is closing up. And we see that guys are totally way fucking left. And what's going to happen is they have to die. They have to die because they're not going to come out of it. But it's some men that are going to come out of it. And that's why we speak. Now, for the majority of men that hear what we're saying, they don't agree with us. They hate what we're saying and they're against it. They, just like Paul, man, and Yahushua, and they search for the true man of the Lord's life. That's why I tell you guys, too, the majority of guys teaching his word, man, they ain't saying nothing. Nobody want to kill them because they agree with not agreeing with the Lord. Guys are in camps with guys and elderly guys, and they fucking agree with them not agreeing with Yahushua, which the only way you're going to make it out of here is by the blood of the Lamb and him covering you, man. You see? So going into this real quick, Revelations Revelations 19:7. Now let us be glad and rejoice and give honor to him, for the marriage of the Lamb is come, and his wife had made herself ready. So the elect are going to be ready. How? Because they're not going to be foolish. They're going to have their oils in their lamps. You see what I'm saying? They're going to be in agreement with the Lord. If you're not in agreement with the Lord and you letting guys to tell you not to agree in the new covenant, then you're not ready. You're not ready in these last days. And basically, the majority of guys teaching his word on the streets, man, they're not of the Lord, bro. The Lord's not with these guys. But they're set up. The majority of guys are set up teaching on the streets now. That's teaching on the streets. The majority of guys, they're set up to stop you from actually finding the spirit. You see, they're like these churches. They're like these churches on every corner, but now you have guys on streets, which now with Esau, which Esau understands the prophecies and the truth and the Lord actually coming back in reincarnation. That's why like these camps are in opposition to Yahushua and the new covenant, because they know if you believe in Yahushua and the new covenant, then you could be healed and you could be saved, and you won't need nobody really to hold your fucking hand, because you could really see. And it's very important too, if you have the spirit and you have experience and you're still laboring in the spirit and you've been in this thing for years. It's very important. That's very important. Now it's not important if you lose the spirit and you're teaching false doctrines and you're demonic and shit. Talking about Solomon's penis. Talking about Judas Iscariot was a fucking was a good guy. Talking about some we not in a new covenant. Talking about the elected seal. What else guys is talking about? Talking about hookers and all that shit. Hey, and over the years, man, like guys talking about, yeah, it's okay to buy hookers. Why the fuck is that so much important? You see what I'm saying? Me and the brother was talking about that too. It's like, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's in the scriptures, but that's not even expedient. Everything's lawful, but that's not expedient for guys to be worried about that type of shit right now. And at the end of the day, what these men have been teaching were things to get you caught up in the snare. You see what I'm saying? Like the rape doctrine, all that shit. Now, they're not telling you to go out there and to rape guys, but subliminally, if you see like what's going on, it's kind of like they're putting that shit in your head, bro. And that's not even important. And the things that's important is Yahushua and the marriage and making sure you don't deny the Lord, because there's a war against the Lamb. They're going to make war against the Lamb. So if the scriptures say, hey, well, they were going to make war against the Lamb, and then the Lord tells you in Revelation 19 that he come to judge in righteousness and he doeth maketh war. If you're not in that spirit of war of Yahushua and defending Yahushua, you're not of the Lord. So guys denying Yahushua, they're not in the spirit of defending Yahushua in this spiritual war. And that's plain and simple. So all the shit these elderly guys talk about at these parks and these men are bringing out in these sit downs, that shit don't matter for nothing, man. That's all smoke and mirrors. And these guys are paid to do that. They're paid to do that because they know the scriptures to a degree where they can manipulate you without even bringing out Yahushua. You have to see through that shit. If guys are not really going into the Lord like that, it's all void. Because the Lord is going to come back and make war. And the Lord, you have to have his spirit. You see? You have to have his spirit. You have to be in the spirit the Lamb was in. And these guys in these groups, they're not in that spirit. Matter of fact, they've been set up so they can get you to be against that spirit. You see? And I know that's crazy, but that's how they've been set up. And that's why the Lord said he said, take my yoke, it is meek and it is lowly. That meaning that the Lord, he didn't have no fucking place in the world to rest his head. So he didn't have a place in the world like to be known like that. He didn't want it to be known like that. Now you're going to be known because you were doing certain things and you were teaching in a certain way where guys are going to know. But far as famous and being great, man, you got guys, they fly from city to city. And you got guys, they fly all around it. They go from camp this and camp here and this, and they fly all everywhere. Where's the fucking money coming to do all that shit, bro? Where's the money to do it? Where's that money coming from? It fucking costs to fly around, bro. We have a lot of false prophets that's really actually set up to have men to go off in these last days so they could be destroyed. And these stupid ass guys think they're going to escape. Now, Revelations 19:8, and to her was granted that she should be arrayed in fine linen, clean and white. For the fine linen is the righteousness of the saints. Look at that, clean and white. And these are the wise virgins that had the oil in their lamp. Now it says, and he said unto me, blessed be are they which are called unto the marriage and the supper of the Lamb. And he said unto me, these are the true servants. These are the true sayings of the Most High. You see that? And I fell at my feet to worship him. And he said unto me, see it, I am thy, he says, see thou do it not, I am thy fellow servant. Right, but these guys, they'll tell you that you got to worship them. And then the angel even tells you don't worship them. So don't worship him. So these guys, man, they're of the fucking world. And you can't say it enough. You can't say it enough. For a few of you brothers that have a couple few spiritual antennas up, because if you stay in these camps, all your spiritual antennas are gonna kill them motherfuckers. But if the Lord is saying something, you could register it in your mind, read the Lord and see what he's telling you for himself in these gospels. Because it's the gospel of Yahweh Shai, man, that need to go out. And men need to understand that the Lord is going to be with you right now. How can you not be in agreement and a covenant with the Lord right now and then expect your ass to be delivered? That shit crazy, man. That shit crazy. But if you let these old motherfuckers with all they fucking gray hair at these fucking parks looking like they really look like they're guilty of something, man, in their eyes, bro. See, like when you're in the spirit, you can see guys, man. And we see guys, man. Now it says, I am thy fellow servant of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahweh Shai. Worship Yahweh Shai. Worship the Most High, for the testimony of Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy. So we go into that word of testimony. It goes into witness. So you would actually have to be one of those men that actually walk with Yahweh Shai. That was one of the 70 or the 12. Or that received the teachings of Yahweh Shai through the spirit. What we're seeing through the spirit is these major groups in these camps, they wasn't actually set up to get you to Yahweh Shai. They were set up to bring you at a standstill, to get you like almost to the Lord, but then it's like it's not there. So like these camps are set up as decoys. So that's what you got to understand about this truth. It's a war that's coming with Yahweh Shai coming back on the script and the planet. Goes into that in 2nd Esdras 13. Right here in Revelations 19, it goes into it. You got to understand it's a war already against the spiritual and the righteous ones. Now, if you're in the spirit of Yahweh Shai, then that's the same spirit Elijah was in when he slew those prophets of Baal. And that's the spirit Yahweh Shai was in. So if you're in those spirits, a war against you. So and with it being a war against you, it's a war against the spirit. And it's a war against Yahweh Shai. Remember the Lord said, like the world that hated him first. Okay. So the world hated the Lord first, and you and his spirit, guess what, is going to hate you too. But with that, man, I just wanted to bring that out. Revelations 19. We're in the marriage with the Lord. So enabled to be married with somebody, right? You got to agree with them. And with that, death to the wicked, and shalom.